Hello, YouTube. It's going to be a video on a number of things. The way my screen looks, they live video. Anyways, it's going to be a fucking video on. I'm going to get the stupidest thing out of the way right away, and it'll lead into the rest, I hope. Again, I talked about the scene from Glow where they had a underage kid. Here's the story to this scene. Basically, you more or less kidnapped a kid off a street in the third world or Soviet Russia. You brought him to the United States while he was screaming and bleeding, dragged him into a room and circumcised him, or basically mutilated his dick. And this was supposed to be, I guess, a 16, 17-year-old kid. From my understanding of it, or at least that's what it appeared to be to me. Now, here's my fucking issue with that. Where's the fucking joke? Because you're treating this almost comical. Now, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's shock therapy. Let's say this was a female. Is it still fucking funny? If you thought that was funny, is it still fucking funny? Do you still think it's funny if I take a girl and cut off her pussy lips? Would that be fucking funny? If this was a same exact scenario with a fucking female, would that be funny? Fuck you. Now then, I don't like talking about that, but you know what? It's right. You're right. It's a TV show. This is a TV show. But here's the thing. You bitch constantly, and you complain about TV shows. You complain about TV shows, and let me complain about a real life issue. You fucking idiots have picked the absolute worst fucking candidate in United States history. This is worse than Hillary Clinton. You could not pick worse. He has a stunning sexual harassment allegation against him, and that's going to be your fucking nominee for the president. And then when you lose, what is your fucking excuse going to be this time? You don't like senile rapists? What is your fucking excuse, assholes? And again, the reason, to borrow a phrase from Vince Russo, the reason I covered this. There goes my dog. Wonderful. The reason I cover this stupid topic is as I did not castrate this fucking issue enough the last time. Yeah, I am. That is the point. And that brings me to my next point. It's an emasculation to let your son be circumcised. You're being emasculated. It is you are never truly dehumanized when you are circumcised. When you're a baby and you're born, you're circumcised. As bad as it is, it's not a complete fucking emasculation. You know what's worse than that? When you let the doctors, the medical establishment, your families, your fucking wife, whoever, fucking get you to goddamn let that happen to your fucking son. And you're powerless to do anything about it. Do you know what an incompetent fucking ape you are and what you look like when you let that happen to your child? That is such a laugh for them. The archons are laughing their ass off. You have made an ass out of yourself. You are a complete failure as a human being at that point. That you could not protect your fucking child from this happening. Yeah, I'm against religion. Yes, I am absolutely against fucking religion. It's all sun worship. It's sun worship. If you just kept it to be what it was, Passover is a Jewish ritual. It's the sun passing over the earth. The Easter is basically the resurrection of the sun. Christmas is actually celebrated when the constellation, the Virgin Virgo, supposedly goes into pregnancy, and she has the sun child, Horus, and it rises to its highest altitude on December 25th because it goes up 1 degree, and that begins the start of the next sun cycle, and eventually it comes around to Easter and it rises. Islam is a celebration, really, probably of the planet Venus, because the Historian Crescent is actually the current face of the planet Venus. So it's the current state of Venus. It's all sun worship. And it's beautiful if you celebrate it to be that. And they it's like Conan the Barbarian when they spin the wheel. When you go around the Mecca, when they're spinning around Mecca, you have all these people walking around Mecca. If you look at that from the sky, it looks like Saturn, but it goes back to the concept of spinning the wheel. It goes back to Conan the Barbarian when they force the children to spin the wheel. It's harmless if you know what it is. It's a pagan religion. It's all pagan. I don't know if there is anything such thing as a true religion of God. How can you possibly know God? And I mean, if you think about it, and I don't like agreeing with feminists, God probably is female. I mean, if you think about God being female, it probably is female. You thought you were thinking about birth, creation of life, but it's actually a hermaphroditic deity, because you need a male and a female. And a feminist, this is what pisses me off about feminists, and this is what they hate to talk about. You can't have a child, you can't have life without a male. The male gives life. And you can say we got it easy. Well, not anymore. Not when you get done with all the dick cutting and everything. Goddamn, we get fucked up too. But you could say in the beginning we had it easy. But without the male, you don't have a fucking life. The male has to have sex with the female. So the God is probably her hermaphroditic entity. And I think it's in the Zohar, or is it the alphabet of the Zohar? I think it's the Zohar. But it says there is arousal above, there is ecstasy above and below, and life is created. So God is essentially a male and female entity. It's a God and goddess. And through self-procreation, we reproduce the earth. So it's a hermaphroditic entity. And I am also a huge proponent of androgyny, and I am a huge supporter of the artificial womb, by the way. And I don't think females should have to have that on them. I don't think they should have to suffer that. And as a male, for no other reason, I don't like hearing about them fucking hating us. I don't want you to carry a kid in your belly for 9 months and have to fucking pop the thing out. Damn, we never hear the end of it. No, I agree with you. I do agree with you. You should all volunteer part of your genetic material to create a child in an artificial room, and that's how we should produce life. And I think that's a good thing. That's how you should produce life, artificial room. I absolutely agree with that. But here's why we can never get there. I remember a few days ago, there was a fucking black female. I don't know her name. I forget her name. She says, us not accepting Bernie Sanders is the white male. We're like children stomping our feet. We don't accept Joe Biden. Why don't we accept Joe Biden? Because we had to have it our way, and we wanted Bernie. You're talking about a white man. He's whiter than he's richer than the Monopoly guy. He's whiter than a game. And he's backed by more corporations than a fucking Sunday church service. Who in the hell are you fucking supporting? Why would you not support Bernie Sanders? It doesn't even make sense. They're just pulling shit out of their ass because that's what they do. And I've said that for fucking years. And I've had to deal with these fucking people. They don't have a fucking argument. They don't have an argument. It's just, we'll shit on this guy until we figure something out. It's nonsense. But, it's just that kind of crap. And then, see, the WWE's released wrestlers, and I don't know all the people they released. I think Drake and Maverick were basically, his name was Rockstar Spud in DNA. He's an English guy. He was in an English promotion, came from England. He's fucked. Who was somebody else he fucked over? WWE fucked over. I don't know. They fucked a bunch of people over. I think it was, I can't think of his name. He was in Rock, 3-man band. Heath Slater. Those are at least two people that fire in the middle of the coronavirus when you most need your money and you most need a fucking source of income. And somebody said, "Gee, maybe CM Punk was right about them." Gee, I wonder, and I share his post because he's correct, but well, gee, man, I wonder when was it that it occurred to you that CM Punk was right about them? Was it before they forced him to wrestle with a staph infection, or was it after they had forced him to wrestle with a staph infection? And then of course firing him on his honeymoon. They fired the man on his honeymoon, so he sues them. He says "fuck you," and he's not gonna let you get the best of him. Because they couldn't let it go. They had to kick him when he was down. They wanted to get one last piss stain on him. So he says "fuck these people," and he goes and he's not gonna let them. He's not gonna let them piss on him one last time. He goes and he's a fucking cutthroat lawyer, a bloodthirsty cutthroat lawyer somewhere in New York. He gets this fucking lawyer and he sues the bastards for everything they've got, everything they're worth, and he wins. And I think they might have even settled with him, but that's not good enough. So they have to countersue him. They countersued him. Yeah, AEW probably will let them go. I mean, AEW probably will pick them up. I'm not a big fan of AEW because they don't like Vince Russo, and I think Vince Russo's a genius. I love Vince Russo. I know that he liked that show Glow that I talked about. He liked it, but he says he only saw about 4 episodes in, so he never saw the fucking dick cutting part. And he did a castration angle. Here's the difference. This is a funny angle about genital mutilation. Castrate with Val Venus. That was funny. Because, first of all, look, he's a grown-ass man. He's 30-something years old, or like late 20s when it happened. And he fucked the guy's wife, and he escaped anyway. He didn't even get castrated. So he escaped anyways. But even if he did, there's a joke there. The joke, the shit that I'm talking about, the fucker, there's no story. He's not a character on the show. There's no backstory. We don't know anything about this guy. He's underage, and you just fucking cut up his fucking dick for no fucking reason. It's horrible shit. Here's the thing: there's these fucking people. They're always bitching about me because like if you like porn, they have something to say about you. You're not allowed to like a beautiful woman or a beautiful man, and I love transgender women. I'm a big fan of transgender women. But they have something to say about that. You're a pervert. They had a show. It was a cartoon. It aired about 12 o'clock midnight once. I saw it. And it's like there's these guy and this woman huddle around a fire, and I guess they're poor. They for some reason they don't have a job or anything. It's like, well, at least we have our baby. And it shows they're holding firewood, and basically the concept is they threw the baby into a fire. They threw it into a fire, and they thought that's supposed to be funny. And this is the type of shit Ray Keller and these people laugh at. They think that's funny. But then if I want to laugh about Katie Vick, then I agree, because I've had funerals since then. I don't think it's funny, but at that time I did when I was a little kid. I was like 11. I thought it was funny, but now I don't anymore, because I know what it's like to go to a funeral and shit. Because my grandmother died. It's horrible, and I understand that. But like Katie Vick, hot lesbian action, that they don't like that. They don't like that. They don't want you to laugh at that, but they find this shit funny. They think that's fucking hilarious that you threw a baby on a fire. What is the fucking joke? What is your joke, you assholes? These are sick fucks, man. These are sick fucking people. There's some kind of robot that's been sent here from fucking space. They don't have proper data on the human species, and they're commenting on our affairs for us. They don't make any sense. These are idiots. These fucking idiots. It's like they live, but it's like the aliens are idiots. I don't understand them. I don't understand what the fuck is going on this planet. I don't want to understand it. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. And that is one thing WWE did. I did show your comment. I showed your comment. If it didn't show, I can't help that. It's right to God. I push show, it showed. I don't know why that didn't show. But listen, you're right. And that was one good thing WWE did was the shit with Otis. where they had Dolph Ziggler, who's like a prick. And I don't like how he has long hair because, I have long hair and it's kind of a taboo in this country to have long hair. So, the one time you show us with long hair, that was bad. Like, you have to be a bad guy. But anyways, I still like the story that Otis gets the girl in the end. He ends up the girl. She ends up with him. Like, that was a good story. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, you're right. No one should care what another person looks like. If another person is a good person, it shouldn't matter what they look like. You're absolutely right. The only time I care what a woman looks like, the only time I give a fuck about a woman's looks is when I'm watching a porno, because it's a fucking porno. Like when I'm looking up porn, I'm looking up Daphne Rosen, the girl with the big tits and ass. I mean, like, but it's a porno. It's totally different. Like, you can't, But anyway, the point is, this fucking country is so stupid. They don't understand anything. Like, it's just, they've messed stuff up so bad, and I'm in it there. I don't really have anything else to say. But how the hell are you going to run, just for the record, I guess is what I'm saying. You're going to run a guy. First of all, he's fighting 1950s gangsters named Corn Pop. Next, I'm expecting him to say that he once met the Trix Rabbit and he saved Christmas from the Grinch. He's smelling every woman he meets, and I think he sexually harassed a woman. He has a standing sexual harassment charge against him, and I think it was a black woman. He's a white man. He's whiter than Monopoly, and he's richer than Monopoly Man. He's whiter than the game, and I don't know. He's richer than the Monopoly Man. He's whiter than the game, and he has more fucking corporation funding him than the church service. As I said, it's going to be a disaster. You're going to have a hell of a time fucking beating Trump. Trump's going to rip this guy apart. You know he's going to bring it up. Trump's going to make fun of this dude. It's going to be a disaster. What the hell is wrong with these people? And I've talked about this for so many damn years. What is wrong with you? I don't understand this. Like, they don't have a standing understanding. They don't have a standing logical understanding of the human mind and what people think. You're choosing a guy knowing he has a sexual harassment allegation, and you don't think Trump's not going to rip that apart? I don't see the long-term plan and long-term gain here. And they're the party of believe all women. Well, I don't know about that, but I know one thing. One person actually in politics now is one of the few people that don't have fucking standing sexual harassment allegations against them. Probably one of the few people that don't. Bernie Sanders. He didn't have it. Why wouldn't you pick him? It doesn't make any sense. You want a female. Tulsi Gabbard ran. You barely gave her any attention. Elizabeth Warren. She's not your nominee either. You want a minority. You had Andrew Yang. And by the way, he hates circumcision. That's another reason I like him. A lot of reasons I like the guy, but that's one reason. You didn't pick him. You picked a fucking 70-something-year-old baby boomer white male, richer than fucking the Vatican, who is possibly guilty of sexual harassment. And even if he's not, we know he smells women. You have stunning video footage of the man smelling women, including a girl, and I don't know how old she is. I can't speak for that. Maybe she's a little bit younger, maybe she's a little bit older, but she's underage. She looked like she was fucking 12 years old. And this freak is smelling her. And she looks creeped out, totally creeped out. And it's like, you're talking about this guy, you're going to shit on Trump because he made a joke about grabbing vaginas 15 years ago on a bus? What is wrong with you? And that's the end of the story. That's the end of our story. The Democrats lose. We have our hats handed to us in a tall hat, and we're fucked. Peace 666.